Hello everybody, my name is Franklin and I'm really excited to share with you about this DVD. It's called Nature for Kids Beginning Spanish, and I believe it's going to be a fun live stream today. Again, my name is Franklin and this is first1000hours.com. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my screen here because I want you to be able to see this little presentation. And again, I believe that the Nature for Kids Beginning Spanish is a really good DVD. And I want to remind you that the affiliate link to this DVD is in the description of this video. If you do click on that affiliate link, I may potentially receive a commission if you do that. Okay, so let's continue. I also want to let you know that I will answer questions about this DVD at the end of this presentation. So I just want to go here. And I remember that around maybe a year or so ago, someone was, a child was seeing my passion and my enthusiasm for Spanish. And this child said something to me like, Franklin, I want to learn Spanish too. And so I was thinking about what should I do to encourage this child, inspire this child to get to know Spanish more. Should I talk to the child about Duolingo? The child actually knew a little bit about Duolingo, but should I emphasize that? Should I emphasize double subtitles on YouTube? Or should I emphasize something else like Link, which I have used personally to help me read things faster? Things like that were going on in my mind, but I thought that I really needed to connect that child with something that that child already was interested in. And then the thought came back to me about this DVD, Nature for Kids Beginning Spanish. And I was thinking, maybe this might be a good DVD for this child to get. And then I went ahead and researched more about the DVD online, and I decided to go ahead and purchase it. And so that's what I did. And I want to give you 8 reasons today why I believe this DVD is awesome. And if you are learning Spanish, or if you have learned Spanish, you want to inspire a child, this is definitely a DVD to get. Okay, so let's go into those reasons. So I'll go ahead and show you my computer screen again. Here we go. First of all, I bought this for a family I know that has 4 children, and they enjoyed watching this DVD several times. And this is very significant, I believe, because number one, I am just a guy in my 30s. I'm 34 years old. I'm a single guy. I don't have kids. I've never been married. Okay, so I have an opinion of what I think is good for kids, and I definitely think this is a good DVD, but at the same time, I wanted to make sure that this would be good for the First 1,000 Hour community, so I needed to test this out. I needed to make sure that it really was good. So I asked this family to go ahead and look at this DVD, and I asked them not even to watch the whole thing. If they didn't like the whole DVD, they didn't have to watch it. I just wanted them to give me an honest review. Now, there are like 8 reviews on Amazon.com, but I wanted to have my own first-hand account as best as I could. So what I could say is basically a second-hand account because I wanted the family to look at this even before I did. So this is a review I got from the family. They actually ended up watching the DVD not only one time, but they've watched it actually at least 3 times, maybe even more than that. And Dana, the wife, has a YouTube channel called Living Quite Simply, and I'll put a link in the description of this video if you would like to check out that channel and see who the wife who gave this review is. But this is a review that she shared with me. She said, our children ranging in age from 6 to 11 all love this video. It held all of their attention well and covered a broad base of vocabulary from animals to movements to familial relationships and more. All of the dialogue was in Spanish, but there was an option to turn on English subtitles, which we have only done on occasion. The children are able to pick up words well because of all the dialogue is in context to the various scenes, and the retention of the words they have picked up in the video has been surprisingly high. It's very age appropriate. The music wasn't distracting like many children's educational videos have a tendency to be, and our whole family has found it educational and entertaining. And so I think that's pretty cool to have a video that's both educational and entertaining. And so this is basically a mother's review of her children's experience and her whole family's experience. And what really surprised me about this is I was not expecting them to watch this like at least 3 times, but it was so engaging that they wanted to do that. And actually, as I actually watched this video myself, I understand now why they would want to watch this over and over and over again. So that really brings us to point number 2 about why I think that this DVD is awesome. Okay, so I bought the DVD for myself and I really like it as well. So when I want to bring something or give you a recommendation here at First 1,000 Hours, I need to make sure that it's a good recommendation, right? And so it doesn't matter if it's a free product or if it's something that is paid, it needs to be good. And so I'm glad for the family that I gave this DVD to and bought that and all of that, but I also wanted to get it myself. So you can see here a screenshot that I have that says that I purchased this DVD 3 times. So I purchased it for the child I mentioned that I wanted to inspire and motivate, and then I also purchased this for a family that I just talked about, and then I also had to see it for myself. So I bought it myself, and I actually watched this on Friday, and I was blown away by the teaching style. And I was like, okay, wow, this resonates with me because I believe this is how I would want to be introduced to Spanish for the first time. And I actually learned things in Spanish watching this DVD, as well as, yeah, like I said, I was like blown away by the teaching method, and we'll get into that in another point. But it has my backing, and I'm a pretty picky person as well when it comes to wanting to recommend things. So you know, for me to give a full backing on something and be passionate about it and being able to share this with you today really says a lot, I believe. Okay, let's go on to point number 3. If your children enjoy Spanish, then you should have more contact with Spanish. So you know, we're talking about language learning in the context of being able to have that first 1,000-hour contact with the language. And so it's important to try to find out ways that you can have more contact with Spanish throughout the day or whatever. Basically, that applies to even other languages as well. But we're talking today in context of Spanish. And this kind of reminded me of a post or a comment that Owen Video had put on my channel in the video that I had done about like why learn Spanish. And I gave one reason about that. And on that video, he said, "This is awesome. We have been looking for a way to learn Spanish as a family. Rosetta, Duolingo, we're a little overwhelmed." And so, you know, there's a lot of people, I believe, not just Owen Video, but other people that are on First 1,000 Hours and all that, that are trying to think about how can we learn this as a family. And I think especially when you're starting to share something with your children that might be a little new or different, is best to be able to present that in like the best way possible. And so I just think that nature for kids beginning Spanish is that way that I can definitely highly recommend. Okay, so let's go on to point number 4. The video is spoken and written in all Spanish, but it is presented in a way that makes the main points comprehensible for children. And so that is kind of why I believe that Dana's family really was able to watch this over and over again. And then I just wanted to read one of the Amazon.com reviews for this video. Deborah said this: I absolutely love this video. The Spanish is simple and applicable. It covers very useful vocabulary. I love that it's entirely in Spanish and isn't translated, but the way it's presented, it doesn't need to be. One of the best features is that it will dim out part of the screen so that if it's saying nose, then nose is highlighted. A great learning tool. Will be buying more in this series. So obviously, like, again, if something is like highlighted, you know, if the nose is highlighted and then you hear, you know, the word being spoken in Spanish of nose, then obviously it can make it very comprehensible. But I like the way that this DVD is able to use Spanish to teach Spanish in a comprehensible way from day one. And so you can't really beat that, I believe. Okay, so let's go on to point number 5. Spanish is taught in the context of subject matter that generally interests children, nature. So I don't know of a child that doesn't like some type of animal, and so they get to see like the zebras, the hippos, like you can see on here like the cheetahs and different things like that. They get to see wildlife that they would like anyway. And speaking about zebra and talking even about the learning method of this video, there was a point in the video where it was explaining colors. And so obviously with the zebra, it has white and black stripes. And so the woman was able to talk, who narrates the video. And then she basically said negro. And then it was negro was colored black. So then it made kind of sense. Okay, negro is black. And then it also had blanco. And then blanco was in white. So again, that just makes it comprehensible. All right. And so let's go on to another reason why I like this DVD. So point number 6. And before we get to point number 6, I just want to let you know that I will answer questions about this DVD at the end of this presentation. So if you're here in the live chat and you're wondering like, why isn't Franklin responding? I will get to your questions or your comments at the end of this DVD. So we're almost at point number 8. So please go ahead and put your questions in the live chat. Okay, so let's continue. The other nice thing about this video is that it can be watched with optional English subtitles. So if you are, even though it's presented, I think, in a very comprehensible way in Spanish, but you might want to figure out what is that mystery word or words that you don't understand. You have an opportunity to also play the video with optional English subtitles. Now, it's a little bit different than YouTube, where you can like turn subtitles on and off. With this DVD, it has 2 separate videos, one that has no Spanish subtitles in it at all, and then has another video that has the English subtitles with it. So I wish that you could just turn the subtitles off and on if you wanted to, but you still can watch the video with English subtitles, so I like that. And all right, so let's go on to point number 7. This video can help give children the confidence that they really can learn Spanish. And so I think that's like the point when you're starting a child on some type of program or whatever. You don't want it to be overwhelming so that the child gets so discouraged, but you also want it to be a little bit challenging. I think this this DVD has the right balance of challenge plus at the same time giving them confidence. And so they're going to understand something, even if they cannot read what's on the screen. Is presented in a way that they will understand. All right, and they were going to understand main concepts. Okay, and I will explain that as we get to point number 8. So let's go ahead and go to point number 8. It says this video doesn't contain slowed down or dumbed down Spanish. And I just need to make sure I let you know these pictures I put in the presentation, they're not exactly from the DVD, but the DVD does have animal, wildlife, and all of this. And so I really like the fact that it's not dumbed down Spanish, because I like to, or the philosophy of First 1,000 Hours is I want to help people understand a language in the context of, in a real world context. And so in the real world, people are not slowing down their speech to talk to people normally. Okay, they might actually go to someone that is, maybe trying to learn a language for the first time and speak very slowly, but that's not normal. And I think that if you want to actually interact with people, then you have to rise to their level. So I like the fact that it's not slowed down. But what happens is, the narrator might speak, 2 or 3 sentences in Spanish, but then they will go over the key vocabulary. So for instance, if it was the section on colors, then like I talked about with the zebra illustration, they might go ahead and then say like blanco or negro, and go over that in a way that is comprehensible. So you're going to get the key vocabulary even though the person, the narrator, is not speaking at a slowed down pace. And so, you know, I think your children or people, children that you know, it might not be specifically your children, or children that you know, are really going to thank you for getting this gift for them. You're able to give children the gift of education, and open up their world. I think with helping them to know that, yeah, they can actually learn a language for real. So I'm going to look and see if anybody had any comments or questions for me. All right, I don't see any comments or questions, so I'll just keep on continuing with this video here. And I just wanted to let you know as well, again, that if you wanted to get, if you wanted to get this, that the affiliate link to this DVD is in the description, and I hope that you will take advantage of this. I want to point out that I did talk to the Amazon, the Amazon supplier for this DVD, and I saw that it only showed at one point, like it only showed like four videos in stock, I think, or maybe 3 on Friday, and now it's gone up to 6 in stock. And I was like, I was a little bit wondering, like, about the inventory issue. But I did talk to the supplier, and it seems like they do keep stock of their inventory, and they do have inventory to meet the demand. And so that's a good thing to know, because I want as many of the first 1,000-hour community to get this DVD as possible. And so I hope that you'll take advantage of that. And if you do, please leave a comment about your experience with the DVD. I would be really interested in that. And my name is Franklin, and this is first1,000hours.com.